What's up, everyone? You're tuned in to the channel Eves episode 123. I'm your host, EEPMON, because there is none other. So, as you can see, I am not in my usual place. I'm in fact in Montreal as I am preparing for my trip to Japan coming up in October 2nd. So I've been doing my errands and due diligence and just getting things done, such as getting a haircut because his hair is just getting too long. So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, since I am on the move, let's talk about digital nomads. Now, what is a digital nomad? A digital nomad are individuals who whose career is based on the flexibility and mobility of being anywhere in the world because they are digital first creators or careers that are built around the digital ecosystem. So I have 5 talking points in which I like to cover. Number 1 is about freedom and flexibility. 2, cultural immersion and global networking. 3, work-life balance challenges. 4, the rise of remote tools and technologies. And finally, 5, financial management and sustainability. These 5 encompass, or perhaps consider, the core of what makes a person a digital nomad. Now, let's tackle the first item, freedom and flexibility. Briefly, one of the key attractions of a digital nomad lifestyle is the ability to work from anywhere, whether it's a cafe in Paris or a beach in Bali. I know people who are in Bali who actually do that, or a co-working space in Tokyo, which I do many a times. Digital nomads can create their ideal work environment. Now, from my personal experience, for example, yes, I as a digital creator first, of course, my laptop is extremely crucial. Of course, my mobile phone and having Wi-Fi signal, and of course, the plethora of software graphical applications that I use. Now, with that in mind, it's true that one does not need to be in one place all the time. For me, as a creator, as a digital artist, my influences and inspirations come from the very nature of exploration, going out there, getting stimulated by new environments, new places. So yes, I recall, like, I've been to Los Angeles several times, and there are many co-working spaces like Hub Los Angeles or even WeWork that provide these places for workers to come in, and they have different locations around the world. For example, I'm not saying that you can join up. If you want to join up, you can, but there are these incubators or innovation hubs or memberships which have locations all over the world. For example, I'm going to say the hub, the hub Ottawa. There's a hub Ottawa. There's different hub chapters. There's hub Ottawa. There's a hub in London. There's a hub Tokyo. There's a hub in Los Angeles, and I actually utilized all of them. I went there, set up, get a table because I'm a member, put my laptop, and start doing stuff, start doing work. There's that option. I also find it very inspiring for me to just be in different coffee shops. So when I'm in Tokyo, sometimes I like to go to, let's say, Trunk Hotel. Well, at the time, before pandemic, the Trunk Hotel used to be this really awesome spot where the main lobby, Trunk Hotel is their boutique hotel in a multi-sando. And you have all these people. I remember there's all these creatives have their iPads doing illustrations, and I'm just sitting down doing my work, and we're all just sitting down, just jamming away at a very nice atmosphere, a very great working environment where people just having just a bar right across, like just across the room, you getting a coffee or drinks or whatever. Just very chill vibes. You know what I'm saying? Uh, this is very important. I think that if you are ready to embrace a digital first approach in your endeavors, you must also embrace all that comes with it. So freedom and flexibility is a very strong point and highly encouraged for those who are seeking to become digital nomads in their digital endeavors to try something new, go to a new coffee shop, go to a new environment, new space, co-working space, and you never know who you'll meet, which is what I will talk about in my later section, um, which is cultural immersion and global networking. Point number 2. Traveling while working allows digital nomads to immerse themselves in different cultures, languages, and traditions. This lifestyle also fosters connections with like-minded individuals and professionals from diverse backgrounds, expanding both personal and professional networks. I just came back from the Banff Forum that was over in Whitehorse, Yukon, and I would have never met so many interesting people from so many backgrounds, different industries, policy, business, nonprofit. All there's just so many incredible people for the very reason of being immersed in a totally different environment. I mean, still within the Canada domain, but I've never been to Whitehorse, Yukon. Never. So not only is the environment like not just like inspiring people, but the place, the environment is also very inspiring and very stimulating. Now, of course, I've traveled to, as I mentioned, Japan. I've been to China. The cultures there, of course, very different in the way they do things, the way, it's just sort of getting different perspectives. Really, also, I believe, um, uh, provides new insight and new pathways in whatever endeavor you do. You could be inspired, and that could perhaps even subconsciously could influence whatever it is you do. For me, I go back to Japan all the time because it's always creatively stimulating. Okay, not just creatively, like just appreciating. For me, like I marvel at their hospitality, the retail experience, their environments, the food, phenomenal. You know, the culture there. It's always such a refreshing um, and enlightening experience for me that, yeah, I guess it does influence the way I see life, the way I go about my day to day, and also, of course, also influence what I do and what I create. And that's very healthy because, as I mentioned, you can diversify your portfolio. Diversified portfolio is also not only diversifying your reach to different industries. Diversify your portfolio does not only mean have different modalities in your creativity, but diversify your portfolio meaning diversify your access to different places, physical places, environments that will just being physically in a different world or different location, different country, equally impacts your point of view, your perspective. That's very important. Another key trait of a digital nomad. Number 3, which follows up, work-life balance challenges. Now, although the lifestyle offers flexibility, maintaining a clear separation between work and leisure can be tricky. It's a discipline. Digital nomads must be disciplined in the managing their time and setting boundaries to avoid burnout. Now, again, that is a skill. Just because you are a digital nomad does not mean that you have the freedom to do everything and all things, and everything's great, everything's rosy, all come together, let's all hug. Let's all hug together. The reality is with how they say, with great power comes with great responsibility. With great freedom comes with great responsibility too, I believe. You need to know how to, if you are engaged in this world, it is very, very tempting to indulge yourself when you're traveling, right? There's so much to see. There's so much new stimuli. It's like you want to just absorb it all. You want to do, but you have to ensure you know your mission, your focus, and what it is you set out to do when you're there, so that you can manage your time effectively. I think one thing that not just digital nomads, but just people, just us in general, us human beings in general, we have a hard time managing ourselves, managing our time management. It's another thing that we don't learn in school for some reason. I mean, I've never taught about time management or being responsible of how you utilize your time effectively. We don't learn that. So, like, could you imagine if you're a digital nomad and you have the freedom to be anywhere? You have that luxury to do it. Isn't it even harder to manage your time that way in a productive manner to get work done? So you have to know when it's time to. You have to know how to delineate between work and personal and professional engagement when you're doing your travels. Very important. That's a discipline that you probably will have to learn over many iterations until you have it right. Now, on that note, number 4, the rise of remote tools and technologies. Advances in communication and collaboration tools like usual suspects, Zoom, Slack, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets, for example, have made digital nomad lifestyle more accessible. Very, very true. Staying productive while remote is now easier than ever, but staying up to date with new technology is crucial. Very, very true. So be strategic. Know what tools to use that will aid in your productivity. If I mean, we have a plethora of like different online conference applications. So be familiar with the ones that I use all the time. Is like, of course, I use Google Meets, I use Zoom, sometimes I use Microsoft Teams, and knowing how to use them effectively, knowing how to share your screen effectively without having like just like, where is the share screen? Like, like do your due diligence and have these basic concepts down. So in the event that you have a meeting with your potential client and you're ready to go with your presentation deck and all that, just be ready to know exactly what to do, especially with these online collaborative tools, because even though they're easily accessible and for staying productive, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that we can slack off and not understanding the application itself. You need to learn how to use them and know them at least on a fundamental level. Other collaborative tools I love using Miro, Miro. It's like a online collaborative whiteboard, mood board. You could like paste URLs. You could make these like, it's like a large mind map whiteboard where you can like invite other people, and in real time you can like write something. It's almost like a interactive like whiteboard sticky notes thing. It's really, really cool. Now, another really cool, like if you don't use Miro of course is like is external app. If you are an Apple user, you have a Mac OS X, built in the Mac is an application called Freeform, and that it comes completely free with your Mac OS X desktop. Now with other it's exactly Miro. It's another whiteboard mood board application where you can invite other um, Mac users into the Freeform ecosystem. And for Miro, in order to unlock a lot of their features, and like I think there's a paid application for it. It's a paid application to unlock more features, but Apple Freeform is completely free. So I use that when I'm working with Killjoy, my co-founder for eFirst, when we're collaborating, ideation, collaboration, um, uh, a project timeline. We all build it. We all use that Freeform. Um, so I highly recommend that. What other things can I recommend for remote tools and technologies? Well, of course, like I use cloud-based, storage, right? I use Dropbox. I know, just so many other ones. There's like, of course, there's Google's got one, Amazon's got one, Microsoft's got one. I like Dropbox. I don't know what it is. I've been using it for a long time, and it's built. You have a built-in. It's actually built into Apple's Finder. So there's the application, you just launch it and it's in my Finder. So I don't need to launch an external browser or an external app to use Dropbox. It's right in my Finder. Drag and drop files. I could share the via URL, all that kind of thing. And it's since it's on the cloud, it is persistent anywhere I go. I can access it through my mobile phone, the files that I have, or my desktop, or log into a web browser from somewhere else if I needed to do that. So the fact is that I use Dropbox for my storage, cloud storage. Of course, software applications. Of course, the Adobe Creative Cloud. I use that like religiously because you got to do creative stuff on it. But yeah, of course, and of course, have a laptop. Make sure like I have the MacBook Pro 14-inch M1, and I spec'd it out. So I believe that if you're going to be a digital nomad, you should have a remote, like you have to, excuse me, uh, you have to have a laptop that's pretty much be above average spec, because if you're going to use the hell out of it, you might as well ensure that you have enough memory and hard drive space uh, to keep going. So that's very, very important. Now, the other thing, number 5, financial management and sustainability. This is very key. Managing finances can be complex when dealing with varying costs of living, fluctuating income, and taxes across different countries. Digital nomads need to develop strong budgeting and financial planning skills to ensure long-term sustainability in this lifestyle. Now, that being said, like all my work I do really is in Canada. When I'm traveling, I would say majority is B2B, it's business development. That's why I go. That's why I travel, to meet other potential clientele. B2B. When I was on the Team Canada trade mission, it was meeting new clients, have your presentation deck ready, meet them up. Sounds like beat them up. Meet them, and then follow up. That's why we travel. That's why a lot of entrepreneurs, we go out there and we build these relationships, and then and in hopes that we can secure international projects. So that being said, of course, in our world, we don't live a 9 to 5. We don't get paid bi-weekly. It'd be amazing if we did. Um, so one thing that it will probably be most challenging for all of us is how to financially be sustainable. Okay, and this is tricky. Everyone's different. Um, what I like to do is really like go really zoom out and ass- and assess what are the things that I utilize most. What have if I look at my month to month bills, what have I been buying, what have I been purchasing, um, and whether or not these purchases are trivial, or do they improve my productivity? Um, is it absolutely necessary to have? Is it a nice to have? Is it a necessary have? And you have to make sure that you know, again, like financial 101, like you need to have an accountant. I have an accountant, so that, you know, when my accountant is so strict with me to make sure that I scan my receipts and make sure I know how to label them and know exactly, so that when she looks at it, she knows how to uh, um, file it appropriately. So at the end of the year, when tax season comes in, you know, it's it's updated enough so that she can handle all the logistics behind that. Um, but yeah, I mean, what I love about doing my own thing as a digital nomad, as a creative entrepreneur, is that I have to learn everything on my own. I didn't go to school learning finance and stuff like that. I had to learn how to do my due diligence, manage myself, um, be frugal. Okay, I mean, once in a while, okay, sure, you can enjoy a nice meal, but or have a um, even if I wanted to upgrade an iPhone, why would I do that? You know, like I was gonna say, oh, you could splurge on the new iPhone, but no, I mean, it could be considered a business expense, but really, like then I think about it. I go, how is that? Is it going to really improve my productivity? Okay, it's a faster iPhone. Okay, what is going to give me back like what 1 second? Like, so these are the financial strategies and decisions that you need to think about, uh, so that you can um, maintain a bottom line, ensure that you can calculate enough to continue to move forward and sustain. Now, there's no perfect recipe, and most likely you're going to have to go through some trial and error and the trials and tribulations. You know, some things will work, some things won't, will not work. It's up to you. Everyone's different. So, and you'll see, like I'm traveling to Japan, for example, right, for my B2Bs, etc. Now, in the mind's eye of most people, they think, oh, he's traveling, he's gonna go to these nice swanky hotels and all these nice restaurants. Like, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to the one of the most uh, I think it's a, how do I say, it's not the cheapest, but it is very affordable for the output that it gives me and peace of mind that it gives me. You will see if you follow me on Instagram at EEPMON, and when I go to Japan, you I will give you a I'll be putting on my stories behind the scenes, the places I go, the people I will meet, the hotels that I stay, uh, and you know, they're not. It's not big. It's not luxurious. It's not luxury. It's small. It's very small, but it's clean. It's quiet. It's very comfortable, and it's like a business hotel. It's for people who are just like, I mean, there's tourists that use it, but for like nomads, like this is the perfect place for the affordability, fast Wi-Fi. I could do my work, do my meetings. You know, there's just a lot of things that you could do there. So very, very important. So, about like being able to financially manage and be sustainable. You got to think all these things. Also look at the sales too. You know, I've become very good at spotting good sales. Anywho, well, those are the five. I'll put those five topics on the show notes again. I'll just reiterate them. Number one, freedom and flexibility. Two, cultural immersion and global networking. Three, work life balance challenges. Four, the rise of remote tools and technologies. And five, financial management and sustainability. It's always a work in progress. And that's why I love what I like to do. Like I really enjoy it because I'm always learning something new every day about myself. because I have to figure all these things out. I'm 100% accountable. There's no one else to blame but myself. And that's how I learn. I hope you enjoyed my episode 123. This is the channel Eeps. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Until next time. Bye-bye.